What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, May 10th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who are your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Lonzo Ball, Joe Ingles, DeJounte Murray, Dillon Brooks, and Keldon Johnson on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to DeMar DeRozan, shooting guard eligible, 8,200, projected for 43.5. The goal is just about 50. He's in the optimal lineup 27% of the time. This is a good spot for a shooting guard. Shooting guard spot has been pretty difficult to fill as of late. He's playing a ton of minutes, so I've got him in for 36, 1.2 fantasy points per minute, dominating the ball for usage, 28%. So we're talking 24 points, 8 assists, and 4.5 boards in a really nice spot, actually. Milwaukee's defense, clearly good, but they are gaining 3.2 possessions over their average. So I do like getting to San Antonio, at least from the DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray, and Keldon Johnson range. I don't see a lot else for the Spurs, but I think those three guys, given their role, position, and price, obviously are showing up in this top 10. You get 5, 6, and 8 here. The pace-up spot is the big piece for it. Milwaukee, I'm nervous about it. I do worry a little bit about the defense. But between the pace-up spot and the amount of the time DeMar DeRozan is going to dominate the ball, I don't think that 8,200 at shooting guard is all that difficult to get to. Next up at number 4, we're finding some value at the power forward spot. We're going to $3,700 Dean Wade. He's projected for 25. The goal's 32. He's in the optimal lineup 28% of the time. Now, it's not fun to roster Dean Wade. He's like a 0.75 to 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy. But I think he's playing 32 minutes here, given some of the injuries. It's 15% usage, not the best. 11 points, 5 boards, 5.5 boards, 2.5 assists, maybe a steal, maybe a block. But a monstrous pace-up spot against Indiana. They gained 4.1 possessions over their average. Indiana's defense is absolutely terrible with no Miles Turner. So this actually becomes a very interesting spot for Wade at just $200 above the minimum. Some of the other positions have really solid pay-up options, so I do think that paying down with Dean Wade is going to be essential for paying up elsewhere. Next up at number 3, we're going to the center spot, and we're going to Rudy Gobert. Now, it's pretty difficult to get a center to rank so highly just because you only have the opportunity to put 1 in a lineup instead of 2 for every other spot. So 7,900 for Gobert, projected for 45.5. The goal's 48.5, and I think he's in the optimal lineup 29% of the time. I've got him in for 33 minutes, 1.38 fantasy points per minute. Neutral usage. He does see a usage bump with no Donovan Mitchell. God, I couldn't even think of Donovan Mitchell's name. No Donovan. It's Monday. It's early. No Donovan Mitchell and no Mike Conley. So I've got him at 18 points, almost 13 boards, a couple assists, 2.7 blocks plus a 0.7 steal. So almost 3.5 stocks in a pace-up spot against Golden State. So the matchup is fantastic. I'm not really worried about Kevon Looney, and Rudy Gobert is just too big for Draymond Green. Draymond, more of a center fielder type in a spot like this. He's not holding down Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll. So I love getting to Rudy Gobert at a sub 8K price tag. Next up at number 2, we're going to point guard, $7,200 Ja Morant, 38.5 point fantasy projection. The goal is 45.5. And he's in the optimal lineup 29% of the time. If you guys have seen, Memphis has been contracting their rotation a little bit. The starters are seeing a couple more minutes than normal. So I actually have Ja Morant projected for 35 minutes at a 1.1 fantasy point per minute rate. 27% usage, almost 22 points, 7.5 assists, just north of 4 boards, a steal in a pace-up spot against the New Orleans Pelicans, who could be without Steven Adams. They're definitely without Zion. They're probably without Brandon Ingram. This is a really nice spot for Memphis, and they are looking to pick up W's here. So this is a pretty big game as well for the Grizzlies. If Ja's getting increased minutes at just a $7,200 price tag, he's way more expensive on DK today. Ja is a perfect mid to upper mid tier value option. And you would never think to say that Ja Morant is a value option, but he is unquestionably underpriced for this matchup and for the minutes that he is playing now. Now, before we get to that number one contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to Twitter and follow me at Josh Engleman. It's the only place that you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. Now, I got to let you guys know, they're not coming out today. I will not have updates as we get closer to lock today. Today is my anniversary. I will be out with the wife tonight. Apologies, but she's got to come first, at least on today. Every other day, you guys get the goods. So, finally, let me know in the comment section your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the contender that you thought was going to show up on this list that you don't see. To me, this one's an absolute no-brainer. The number one contender on FanDuel today is Trae Young. He is point guard eligible, obviously. 8,400, projected for 47. The goal's 50.5, and he's in the optimal lineup 37% of the time. You can see he's in a different tier than everybody else. I've got him in for 35 minutes. That's what I expect him to play if this game is close. 1.34 fantasy points per minute, and we know he dominates the ball, 33% usage. That's 27.5 points, 10 assists, 4 boards, and a steal in the best matchup in the land. They gain 5.6 possessions over their average by facing the Washington Wizards. This is the biggest pace-up spot in the league. I love it a ton. Wizards are going to be without Bradley Beal, so in a way, that's kind of a better spot for Trae. But the $8,400 price tag is the clear best piece here. He allows you to pay up elsewhere because he is simply not priced correctly on FanDuel. He's way more expensive on DK. And for this matchup against the Wizards, it couldn't fit him any better. Russell Westbrook on the opposite side of him, obviously not going to be guarding him all that frequently. Neither one of those guys great defensively. And Russ, massively priced up. Still like Russ today, but his price tag is real on FanDuel. It's fake on DraftKings. So for right now, and I expect for most of the day, Trae Young is the number one contender on today's slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, May 10th. Process show is in the books. Go watch that. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Strategy show at 10 a.m. with Laffy, and then that is it for me. Live before lock. Chris Spags filling in for me today. I'm taking his live before lock tomorrow, but that's not all that important. 11 games tomorrow. It's going to be bonkers. Guys, good luck tonight. Enjoy your Monday. I will talk to you again tomorrow for another edition of the Contenders.